Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the AEW Dynamite Friday Night Ring Report. You see right here, Takeshita was in some chaos tonight. The Don Callis family, Don Callis, and a Don Callis summit. And we'll get to the latest detail, more information on what's going on with the Don Callis summit coming up here later on. What this entails with Takeshita and Okada. We'll talk about that coming up. Also, too, here's the rundown for the matches right here. Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, and Hook in a fatal four-way match to determine who's next in line for a shot at the World Championship. We'll talk about that coming up. FTR, Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and Jurassic Express also in a no one contendership match to determine who's no one contenders for the tag title, as well as for the women's tag team championship tournament. As Jamie Hayter and Queen Almada takes on the Sisters of Sin. Let's see that. John Moxley against Kyle O'Reilly. Again, same old booking. As well as Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy taking on the Death Rider. And we talk about the Don Callis Summit. We'll get the AEW Ring Report started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the AEW Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the AEW Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and share. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button. Say, "Oh, miss a thing." All right. Let's not waste no time. But we know that this is the Saturday Night Main Event week. And we with the AEW Ring Report. Friday will be the SmackDown Ring Report. And Saturday will be Predict the Outcome, as well as the Saturday Night Main Event review. So look forward to seeing that as well on your schedule. So let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get the AEW Dynamite Ring Report started right here, right now. We kick off with AEW with show what happened and stuff. Right here, Jungle Express. Yeah, Jungle Express. As you see right here, Jungle is Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and got his name, Luchasaurus, the Kill Switch, whatever the hell his name was. They were part of that tag team match. A tag team match that was for a fatal four-way, as well as the Don Callis family tries to recruit the Young Bucks into the fold. The Young Bucks ain't took their Don Callis offer yet. Don Callis offered his services, but we'll get to Don Callis a little bit later on in the show on what Don Callis had for his family summit in his stable. So he like the Bobby Heenan family, if you ask me. Well, we get to the tag team. We found out that FTR are the new number one contenders for the AEW tag team titles, world tag team titles. So they'll get a shot against Bandito and Bro Lee whenever they might come. They might get a shot at the pay-per-view called Full Gear. So look forward to seeing that as well for the Bucks. As well as this, Chris Stanlander. If we can show Chris Stanlander right quick. She was in attendance. She was showed what she was all about. Chris Stanlander saying that she wants to go against Mercedes Moné. That Mercedes will be defending her women's championship against all comers. The Mercedes will get a shot. This week on Collision, Mercedes, Chris Stanlander's opponent, Mercedes, will take on Olympia. They did a promotional reel on Olympia. She's from CLMLA. And she's gonna challenge Mercedes for the CLMLA championship this week on Collision. So looking forward to hearing that coming up. So you see that. But speaking of opportunity to get more belts into her, she can get her 13 or 14 belt as Full Gear. Chris Stanlander is set to defend the women's championship against Mercedes Moné. I just hope Mercedes beat Chris Stanlander. I'm not a big fan of Chris Stanlander. She's kind of like a nerdy woman to me, but it is what it is. But Moné might bring credibility, and Mercedes Moné might finally win the women's championship over Chris Stanlander. I think Mercedes was just Tony Storm. They trying to get out to Tony Storm, but he couldn't get out of Tony Storm. So hence that's what happened. So Mercedes Monet will get a shot at the women's championship. We move on to another situation as well. Let's move on to another one. The women's tag team championship situation. As you can tell right here, um, the sisters of sin win. They ever step up closer to winning the women's tag team titles. So the sisters of sin, they did add more championships to this roster and all these belts and stuff, which is not needed, but they just keep them for attention. But the sisters of sin move on, as well as a new team between Megan Bain and Marina. Megan Bain and Marina might dominate, if you ask me, dominate the tag team situation with the women. So we'll see how that's going to go. This congregation more like a Beverly Hills 91210 type feel. Orange Cassidy saying that he might put himself in the in what's going on from congregation and stuff. But we'll see what Orange Cassidy is going to do coming forward. So looking forward to seeing that as well. Man, who was Orange Cassidy against this week? Okay, or they was in tag team action. Um, Speaking of that, Orange Cassidy's tag team partner, Darby Allin, wasting no time tapping out Jimmy Wayne, Jimmy Lane, what was his name is? Hey, and as you can tell right there. Um, so as you can see right there, like so, we saw however that was going to be tonight as well. Moving forward as well. So we saw how that's going to be as well. Well, the Don Callis family, Don Callis had his summit, and Don Callis doing like a summit, like a classroom or something. And Don Callis introduced all his members of his stable. So like the Bobby Heenan family, Don Callis introduced his members until Takeshita and Okada came out there, and they was gonna go at blows. A confrontation that looks like that's gonna happen amidst the group. The group is trying to explode within. Don Callis trying to not let that happen. Don Callis trying to separate the two. So Don Callis said these two will men, Okada and Takesha, will team up this week on Collision to see there is no fraction in the group. They will work together as one, and they will put their differences aside and do what they need to do. And Don Callis is trying to promote that, I guess, what he got going on. He also did this picture of him and his guys all looking ripped, shredded. Looks like they all been in the gym or something, and Don Callis always in the middle of that. So we see how that's going to go down as well. So we see how that's going to go as well. Also, too, what else can we talk? There's a lot going on. Bandino talked about his mother, and his mother's proud of him and stuff like that. So we see how that's going to go. Well, also too, we saw the Sisters of Sin earlier. We saw how that went down and stuff. The Sisters of Sin. We know next collision this week. Bandino will take on Mascarada. The Ring of Honor title will be online. So, I mean, real interest was tonight was that, but we saw earlier. Well, Samoa Joe was in the ring. Samoa Joe, along with his misfits of the ops. Samoa Joe earns himself an opportunity once again to go for the AEW championship. Samoa Joe did it again. And Samoa Joe This time he got to get tired wrestling for the world championship. Samoa Joe tried to attack who he thought was a Hangman Page, but Hangman Page had upsmarted Samoa Joe as dressing like Tony Schiavone, which they think we really idiots and fools of that. Tony Schiavone was interviewing Samoa Joe. Then Tony Schiavone got out the ring, and then there was Hangman Page dressed like Tony Schiavone to attack Samoa Joe with a beer bottle. It was the lame. Whoever came up with that was the lamest thing ever. They couldn't have Heyman Page dress up as a attendant rather than being Tony Schiavone. And really, Tony Schiavone did interview him. They try to make you seem like Tony Schiavone. The Heyman Page interviews Samoa Joe, which doesn't make no sense in the world whatsoever. They really getting stupider and stupid. AEW losing really a lot of momentum and stuff. Like a lot of wrestling and stuff is really going downhill. Samoa Joe really fell for the Tony Schiavone act thing. Tony Schiavone, come on, really, really, Joe. All right. Well, it wasn't nothing much to talk about as well throughout this. This is really was kind of we're doing a good AEW show tonight to me, but it is what it is. Well, like we said, this week Friday will be the SmackDown Ring Report as well as Saturday Night Main Event. Predict the outcome before the event as well as after Saturday Night Main Event with the review recap. So I mean, it's been that's still a AEW. The only thing that really interests me was the Takeshita in Okada situation. That's going to really tense up once you know it and once you see it coming. All right, that's going to do it here for the Pro Wrestling Show for the AEW Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you Friday for the SmackDown Report